Waiting to go live. There it is. Finally. Fine. It always gives me this little circle saying I'm going live, and I never know when that's going to happen because right when I think I know that it's going to be going live, it doesn't. Yes, I'm still wearing the same cardigan I wore yesterday. It's not like it's getting that dirty being on me over another shirt. New shirt today. Well, it's not new, but it's new for these videos. It has 3 crows on it, little Celtic mythology. If you didn't know, I've written a trilogy, a young adult trilogy that's on Amazon. The first book is called She's Call, that is spelled SIDHE''S, and the last word is call, CALL. You can find my trilogy. It's called the Keening Trilogy. It's based off of some Celtic mythology. And this is the Morrigan that's represented, which has a bunch of different myths, but it's this idea of this, I guess, trinity of a type of Godhead, but it's not Christian. It's, you know, pagan and stuff. So, anyway, one of my main characters is part of the Banshee, and the She are fairy folk, and so that's what it's based off of. So you can go check that out if you didn't know that about me. So I saw this at a like a Scottish Highlands games thing this last summer, and I had to pick it up. It spoke to me, and it was like, this is what your series is revolves around. It's meant to be. So I bought it. Today's gonna be a little bit short. I don't know how sweet. I was getting a little nervous because, I'm a teacher, and to me, to know if I'm being effective or not is usually seeing my students and interacting with you guys, and also getting work that's great that I can grade or do something with or see it and read it. I don't get that right now. So I've been a little tense lately, hence the name of my video, because I've been feeling kind of like a failure on that front, that I try to reach out, but I don't always feel like I get a lot back. So that sometimes puts me in a mood during the week when I want to hear from students, or I want to see how they're doing, or I want to see their work. I want to make sure they're still reading and thinking, and I don't always get stuff back. So had a good chat with Ms. McPherson earlier today, and she suggested that she'd heard from other teachers that they knew they were reaching a lot more students than they thought, because they went and checked Canvas and saw how many kids were on there and involved on Canvas and checking that. So after I finished talking with her, I went and checked that and saw, I haven't checked English 10 yet, but I checked AP, and with AP, out of the 58 or so kids that are in that class, all but 7 of you have checked Canvas since school shut down. So that made me a little less tense. Some of you may watch these videos, but you never go on there. I don't know why, but we all have things in our lives and stresses going on right now that I don't know about. If some of you are having it really rough, it'd be helpful for you to let your teachers know what's going on. If you have a friend that you know is having a hard time and they just don't have time to access things or don't have that accessibility, please reach out and let us know. It's hard because we start to feel like it's just kids not choosing not to be involved and give feedback or do work or whatever. But we definitely want to know if it's an issue of can't or won't, the difference between the two. So positive mindset going into the rest of today. The other thing that made me happy, I'm not going to use my book of happiness today because lately it's been kind of letting me down. No, I actually came up with my own happiness today. So I was getting my lunch ready. I got out a can of soup. Exciting stuff. And decided to try out making some cornbread to go with it because I have some cornmeal in my pantry. And I decided to make it gluten-free. So I made gluten-free cornbread. It still was only like this tall compared to the normal, like that tall. If you ever eat gluten-free stuff, you should know that it does not rise like the other stuff. Because it doesn't have the gluten, it doesn't get those nice air bubbles and all that lovely stuff going on with it. So It just affects that part of what you bake. So just a little thing that I know about. Um, so I was tense, a little less tense now. This is my wolf mug. I actually have 4 of these. Got them for Christmas years and years and years ago. My brother-in-law had my name for the family drawing. We all the adults have their names that go into a drawing, and you have one person you buy a gift for between the siblings and my parents and stuff. So he had my name, and I got these that were designed by somebody he knew, if I remember right. And I've always loved wolves. I've always loved dogs too. I used to, when I was a kid, like elementary school, I dreamed of being a writer. But I also dreamed of having my own sled dog team and running the Iditarod in Alaska. Like, I read books and books about it at the library, learned everything I could about sled dogs and the different breeds and stuff and how to care for them and all that. Obviously, that didn't happen. uh, I am not in the physical shape to do that, nor have I ever been, really. Okay, maybe when I was younger, if I would have trained, I could have figured it out. But anyway, it's way too cold. Why did I even think that? I hate the cold. I mean, I love winter and I love the snow, but I like being inside looking at it and then going out and playing in it a little bit and then going back inside where it's nice and warm and toasty and drinking hot cocoa and being under a snuggly blanket and maybe reading a book by the fire. Oh, that sounds nice right now. So, that was one childhood dream that never came true. Yeah, sad, I know. Depressing. Oh, it just too much from happy cornbread to sad dreams lost. All right, what else? Tents. The other kind of tents is, of course, the thing we set up in the backyard because my husband and we've been upgrading some of our camping equipment so that we can be a little bit more portable and just have to take our minivan with our kids and our dog. So we got a new tent for us that's a backpacking tent. So it's super lightweight and small, which I'm hoping he will join me on some backpacking adventures, but we will see. I already have a backpack. I bought him a backpack. We just have to get our kids the rest of the gear. So anyway, we got them a new tent and had them try it out last night. And this one's not one for backpacking. It's just for when we do like car camping, which we do a lot of because, when your kids are little, you kind of have to do that. I know you can take them backpacking and they can handle walking, but whatever. When you have an 11-year-old dog, 14-year-old dog now, I mean, it's kind of hard to make them trek for miles and miles. So they put that up in the backyard last night. And if you want to see the little visit I paid them last night in their tent, go check out my other video on my YouTube channel. It's only a minute and 30 seconds. It's not a lot. So go check that out at some point. It's just something. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it. What else? AP Kids, I sent you guys an email today that was clarifying because I've been getting a lot of questions that some kids are seeing finally. Well, I put some stuff into Skyward in the miscellaneous category, so some of you are finally seeing that and freaking out a little bit, which is good. That's partly why I put it there, so you would notice and pay attention and be like, hello, Mrs. Thomas has been assigning stuff and you've just been ignoring her. It makes me really nervous because we have the exam coming up on May 20th, which is less than a month away now. So, and it looks like the district's plan is not to have me do actual classroom teaching until like right before that exam, like the 18th, based on what I've seen today. Everything up until then is going to be recommended work still, and then it will get to the teacher providing even more direct instruction then. That's the latest I've heard through rumor mill and some screenshots people shared through a Facebook page. So that makes me really nervous because if I am going to be sitting here just hoping that you guys do it, then I guess I'm stuck with that. I have to do what I can do. I can only lead the horse to water, but I can't make you drink, right? So I also reminded you about an AP survey that came out on April 13th. Is asking about, and this is for those of you that signed up for the exam, it's asking you to verify if you still plan on taking it or not, or if you're unsure. It will not change the fact of whether or not you paid for it or that they're going to order a test for you. That is separate. This is simply they want to gauge where you're at in your mindset as far as when we estimate how many are actually going to take it. They share that information with me, so it's also helpful for me to know, out of those of you that paid to take it, how many of you are still like, no, I'm going to take this exam, and how many of you are like, absolutely not, I'm going to not take this exam. So if you didn't take that survey, make sure you check your email, whatever one you signed up for the College Board AP Classroom website, and check that email, and you should have one there. I got notification of it on the 17th. I'm waiting to hear from some other people on whether or not we'll survey you guys further for that. So if you have any friends who are not so good at checking their stuff, message them, tell them to check their email, whichever one they use to sign up for College Board. You know, some of you use personal emails, some of you made typos on those. We tried to catch those pretty early on, so I hope those have been corrected at this point. All right, 10th grade, I found out a major issue with the district choice boards this morning because I had a wonderful student, shout out to Reem, who actually tried to do last week's lesson, and she couldn't access the materials. She logged into Actively Learn, like I said, followed those instructions, and it gave her an error. Couldn't find the thing she was searching for. Didn't exist. It's like, what is she doing wrong? I mean, that was my first thing. Okay, what is she doing wrong? Shut down your computer, turn it back on, log off, log in. So the box number 4 is the Actively Learn one, where they tell you to go look for Of Mice and Men and read an article or a short story related to that novel and do the questions. And I did a whole tutorial walking you through one of the short stories and reading it aloud to you. So then I find out that you guys can't see that stuff because from the teacher side, we can see the whole library that they have available. And then we can select from there and assign it to classes. It's not open access, which I think I should have known that. And I kind of had an inkling of that. But then I was like, well, the district's saying they can access it, so I guess kids can access it. Yeah, that's not true. It has to be assigned by the teacher. So 10th graders, I went in and assigned just a bunch of the articles and the short stories for you. I don't intend for you to do all those on activelylearn.com, but they do tell you to do like 3 of those. So you can do the one that I already assigned to you guys. I did the tutorial on last week. You can do some of the other ones. Some are news articles, and then there are some more short stories. I think I selected mostly news articles to go with it. So I fixed that, I think. So my tutorial is not completely accurate, but I'm not going to go refilm it. I'm just updating here, and then we'll see if I email out tomorrow about it. But I don't know how many kids are doing it. So I guess I'll wait to see if I get more emails from kids saying, I followed your instructions, but it didn't work. If that happens, then I'll take the time to address it. But I just kind of want to see what engagement is so far, meaning how many people are actually using the resources and doing the assignments, because if it's not happening, part of me is like, well, then should I do extra, or should I just do the bare minimum if no one's going to use it? So that's where I'm at. Let's see, AP, I sent you in your email today 2 different lists. One is like super detailed, very wordy, and it's at the bottom of the email, and I left it there for those that had like more specific questions, like about grading and just the resources. At the very top, though, the main thing was like my prioritization of the resources and lessons that I've been using this whole time, because some kids are just, I think, overwhelmed with like, there's so much stuff. What should I do first? So I put them in the order of really what I think is helpful to get you ready for the exam and keep your skills up. If you're not taking the AP exam, I hope you are still reading things. I hope you are still trying out some of that stuff, because it is part of the course. Just because they simplified the exam doesn't mean that we simplify everything in the course. I'm still going forward with expecting to hold you to that standard of writing and reading, because we've done most of it already. What you've really missed out on with them closing school was our heavy test prep and some of our summative assessments on writing. So depending what the district and the state says about grading, your grades could change. I don't know. My plan was to give you guys a summative assessment on all 3 writing types. Have you guys do a rhetorical analysis, one that I actually put the quality of the writing in the grade book under summative, another one for argument, and another one for synthesis. So, and I usually do that for multiple choice too. So we'll see what happens. That's why I keep telling you, keep practicing the stuff, keep trying it out, because I'm going to expect that you guys still have those skills that we worked on and that we'll pick up from where we left off. But again, I'm waiting to hear back and see what specifically, what guidance they give me, the things I can and can't do. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, and I don't want to stress you out if you have other things going on at home, but at the same time, I'm stuck in this weird spot where I know some of you need that prep and some of you need somebody to kind of like push you around to get you to do it. So email me if you have questions or concerns, or if you just want to check in. It is nice to hear from kids to see what you're up to and make sure that you're healthy and with it. I know some of you probably have to help your families out quite a bit. So just let me know. Just let your teachers know if that's going on with you. We are here to help you. We want to help you grow. We also know that we're human beings, and you know what? There are some days I just want to stay in bed and watch Netflix. It happens, but the key is to get up, keep going, plug in, making progress, plugging forward. So see you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely Tuesday. Bye.